In your top 10, payments you make on third-party apps like Venmo and PayPal could now be considered taxable income.
You've probably been treating it like cash, and for the most part, so did the IRS. That is until this year. Courtney Godfrey joins us now to help us sort of break down what we need to know about this new rule. Courtney?
Well, Amy, if someone Venmos you or you Venmo them $600 or more over the course of a year, you'll likely be hearing from the IRS. And if the payments you received aren't for business services, be prepared to prove it when you file your taxes.
Whether you sold an old couch to a neighbor, paid a babysitter, or made some extra cash with a side hustle, you may soon be under greater scrutiny by the IRS.
In the past, things were not as tight, but it sounds like the IRS is tightening up on this.
All part of changes made under the American Rescue Plan. Transactions made on Venmo, PayPal, or any mobile payment app are now taxable if payments exceed $600 over the course of a year, far less than the previous threshold of $20,000, and creating some gray areas when it comes to what is now considered income.
There are some individuals who have a lot of really expensive clothes and things like in their closets. And if they start selling a bunch of those things, to the IRS, it might start looking like income. But if it's just a couple of transactions a year, I sold a couple of pieces of furniture, or I sold a car, something like this, you could probably get away from it.
And while repaying your friend after a recent trip to Vegas, for example, shouldn't be considered income, it could trigger a 1099 being sent your way, which is why University of St. Thomas finance professor David Vang suggests holding on to receipts and having separate accounts for personal and business use.
It's worth the effort to set up a separate account to just for the sake of documentation, to make it clear, so that you don't have to argue with the IRS that someone giving you $300 because you went to a really fancy restaurant and they're paying their half. No, that's not income. That was someone just paying their bill.
A $600 payment on one of these apps should trigger you to automatically get a 1099 in the mail. But if you don't get one, you are still responsible to report that income to the IRS now. So make sure you are now carefully tracking who you pay, for what, and for how much, Amy.
Yeah, it's going to be a big change for a lot of people. All right.
Courtney just buzzkilled all the finances out there.
She did.
That's what I do. Sorry,
Informing us. Thanks, Courtney. All right.